Welcome to the first set of losers quarterfinals of the FNF Victory Road Draft League Season 3. This battle is going to be pitting Morgana and the Lakeshore Ledians versus Fire Warrior and the Draco Warriors. Of course, since this is the losers bracket, the one who loses this set will be eliminated. This is a best of 3 set. And let's take a look at these teams. We have Mega Sceptile and Mega Charizard Y respectively. No Z Pokemon on Morgana's team, and then we have Z Any Porygon Z for Fire Warrior. So I'm actually pretty surprised that we don't see Palossand coming from Fire Warrior. Palossand being pretty nice at countering Zeraora with its immunity to close combat and also to electric moves. It could also set up Stealth Rock. So I'm actually pretty surprised we aren't seeing Palossand in this matchup. Maybe it's because of the ice types that Morgana has on his team. Overall, it does look like pretty anti-ice team coming from Fire Warrior. No Pokemon on his team are weak to ice, so it looks like he definitely prepped for the hail. He also has his Sun setter in Charizard Y, so it looks like he definitely prepped for the hail. Zeraora looks like it can be troublesome. Jolteon can switch into predicted Plasma Fists, but close combat is going to be pretty tough. I'm assuming that Ribombee is going to want to set up Sticky Web, because if he could challenge Morgana's best asset, which is speed, he can definitely have some advantage with Jolteon and Charizard Y, who look to be the strongest Pokemon in this matchup in terms of sheer power. So we might see a Sticky Web going up. From Morgana's team, we have the standard fast Pokemon. We have Zeraora and Sharpedo being able to hit on that physical side, Ninetales, Alola, and Sceptile being able to hit on that special side, and then the defensive core of Tapu Fini and Mudsdale. I think that Sceptile was an interesting choice, probably there for Jolteon to come in on those electric attacks, and I'm wondering what his plan is for Mega Charizard Y. I think that Ninetales can be a good answer to the Sun, but nothing really comfortably comes in on Charizard Y's attack. Maybe Tapu Fini actually, but it doesn't want to take a Solar Beam. So Charizard Y seems to be the biggest problem for Morgana, but if you could get a sweep going with Sharpedo getting speed boosts, or if he could go for Zeraora hitting hard with close combat and Plasma Fists, I think that Morgana would have a good time. So yeah, and then of course we have Porygon Z, which if it sets up Z conversion can be very dangerous. So both these sides, big offenses. I don't think that this is going to be a slow set. Of course, we have Morgana and Fire Warrior who play pretty offensively both in this set. So let's jump in and see how this set goes. I think we'll see Zeraora and Jolteon as leads. So you do see Jet Set of the Zeraora versus Spasmatism, the Porygon Z. That close combat hits hard, taking out Spasmatism in one shot. No chance for Spasmatism to set up. Jet Setter at 91% because that Life Orb recoil on Majin Buu comes in. Of course, it can get hit by the close combat too, but the knockoff is what Jet Setter decides to use, removing the leftovers, and it's toxic now as well. So Jet Setter not in a good position. We might see Jet Setter switch out, but it goes for the taunt actually, maybe to prevent wishes and protects, but Majin Buu did not mind that because it went for the Body Slam, taking out Jet Setter. The score is 5-5, and Dromark the Mudsdale comes in. Here's Torch to the Charizard, and the Stealth Rock is up. Good switch by Fire Warrior, putting Charizard in before the Stealth Rock goes up. I'm guessing we'll see a Solar Beam. Nope, we see the Workup actually versus Mudsdale. And that Rock Slide is going to take out Torch before it has any chance to use Solar Beam. Yeah, I think he should have just gone for the Solar Beam. I'm not sure if Dromark would have been taken out by the Solar Beam, but it would have done big damage. Kowalski is next, going for the Scald in that Sun. It's not going to do as much as it normally would, and Dromark with that Earthquake bringing Kowalski down to 12%. It is still rather comfortable in the Sun, and it's getting those stamina boosts too. Yeah, 35% from that Scald, no burn. Dromark at 30%, taking out Kowalski with the next Earthquake. That is going to be a 5-3 score, and Dromark is looking pretty threatening right now. Majin Buu the Licky Licky comes in, but I'm not sure if it could take it out with that increased defense. Dromark opts to go for the Toxic on Majin Buu, and Majin Buu goes for the Toxic on Dromark. So both of them toxicking each other. I think that was the best move from Licky Licky. Dromark not wanting to stay in, so Jarell comes in. There's that wish going up. Majin Buu at 34%. Jarell is now going for the agility, probably to outspeed Ribombi and Jolteon in case they have a Choice Scarf, but that Gyro Ball hits very hard now that that agility is up. Without the agility, it might not have done half damage, but it might be one more Gyro Ball. Indeed, that Gyro Ball takes down Jarell, and Majin Buu now at 35%, with the Toxic at 11%. Score is 4-3, and Neptune the Sharpedo comes in. Sharpedo goes for the Liquidation. That's a quick kill there on Majin Buu. We see that it has a Life Orb, and it also has a Speed Boost now, so unless these two Pokemon are Choice Scarfed, it looks like Neptune is in trouble. Dynamo comes out, no Choice Scarf there. Dynamo's taken down by the Liquidation. Neptune sitting at a comfortable 81%. It is frail, and Ribombi's the last Pokemon on the team. Even with a Scarf, I don't think it outspeeds +2 Sharpedo though. Yeah, that Poison Jab is going to take out Navi, and that is the match. It is a 4-0 victory for Morgana, closing out with Sharpedo. I think that Sharpedo was definitely a good bring for Morgana in this one. I was surprised that he let Zeraora go down so easily, but I guess it's because Neptune was more of his win con and Zeraora was maybe more of like the preliminary disruptor to take down some of the problematic Pokemon, like Porygon Z, for example. I don't think Neptune would have been able to one-shot it, so that makes sense. I think that Fire Warrior is definitely going to... I could expect a Palossand for the next match. Also Solar Beam on Charizard to take care of Mudsdale. And a Sticky Web going up because Ribombi never got set up its webs, so maybe it goes for Sticky Web first. But we're going to see how that goes next match. We still have at least one more match, and it's going to come now. So here's the second match between Morgana and Fire Warrior. Of course, it's a best of 3 set, so Fire Warrior does have to win one to take it to game 3. Morgana just has to win one more to advance on to the losers semifinals. So no changes on Morgana's team this time around. Fire Warrior does have one change on his team, and that is Porygon Z being switched out for Terrakion. Still a big fighting weakness on his team, 3 Pokemon weak to fighting, so that close combat from Zeraora will hit pretty hard, especially considering Charizard doesn't want to get hit by those Plasma Fists either. So I think that Fire Warrior again is going to really have to be careful for Zeraora. But Terrakion does have its advantages over Porygon Z. It hits Ninetales pretty hard, but it doesn't want to get hit by that Moonblast. And in general, just hits very hard, especially if it's Scarfed. I think that's the most likely scenario. We'll see a Scarf, Stone Edge, or close combat. But yeah, looks like it's going to be another offensive battle. Will we see the Sticky Web? That's a big question. Let's jump in and see. I think we're going to see Zeraora and Ribombi starting out. Let's see if my lead predictions are correct. We do have Navi the Ribombi, and we have Jarell the Sceptile instead. So Sceptile Mega evolving, and there's the Bug Buzz from Navi doing massive damage to Jarell, who's brought down to 4%. The Rock Slide takes Navi down to 13%. Navi's definitely Scarfed because it outspeed Jarell, or Jarell doesn't have max speed, but I think more likely Navi is Scarfed. So that Rock Slide only could do very little damage to Majin Buu. I think we'll see Jarell switch out. Actually, no. Jarell goes for the Energy Ball. It's going to do 45% as Majin Buu takes down Jarell, and the score is now 5-6. Majin Buu sitting at half of its HP. So in comes Jet Setter the Zeraora, going for that knockoff on Majin Buu. That's going to remove those leftovers. Jet Setter at 91%. The Earthquake bringing it down to 12%. Jet Setter only has 2 more turns if it hits 2 times. Jet Setter comes in, hitting Terrakion with those Plasma Fists. It's going to do big damage to Terrakion. Jet Setter now at 3%. It only hits one more time before it's brought down to its own recoil. And the close combat takes down Majin Buu as Jet Setter goes down to the recoil as well. Score is now 4-5. But Terrakion has been weakened. So we see Dromark the Mudsdale come in to face Kowalski the Empoleon. We've seen this exchange before, but there's no Sun this time. The Liquidation is going to do 52% to Dromark, activating Stamina, and that Earthquake hits Kowalski critically, but the Shuka Berry weakens it, bringing it down to 34%. Another Liquidation hits. Dromark brought down to 14%, and the Earthquake takes out Kowalski. That Earthquake was so close to activating Torrent, which would have taken down Dromark, but it was at 34 instead of 33%. So there's Torch coming in, and the Solar Beam hits, taking down Dromark. Even though it had the Rindo Berry, it did not have enough HP to survive even a weakened Solar Beam. Score is now 3-4, and it looks like Fire Warrior has some momentum, but Neptune comes in. It is sunny, and Torch goes for the Solar Beam, but Neptune has that Focus Sash, so it will hang on, and the Liquidation hits pretty hard, doing 61% even in the sun, and now Neptune does have that speed boost, so it will outspeed Torch. Another Liquidation takes down Torch, and the score is 3-3. Can Fire Warrior take on Neptune? That's the big question. Looks like Jolteon. Yeah, Jolteon is the next one to come out. Jolteon is the best bet for taking down Neptune. I don't know if a Liquidation will take it down, but an Earthquake definitely will. Or maybe, it might. I think an Earthquake will. Looks like Poison Jab is actually what Neptune opts to use. Because of that Sun Weakening water moves, it wouldn't have done that much. So Thunderbolt takes down Neptune. The score is now 2-3, but all three of Fire Warrior's Pokemon have been weakened. Can Melia break through? Dynamo is at 46%. The Thunderbolt does 45%. Melia goes for the Aurora Veil, which is going to help solidify the defenses on Morgana's team, and in comes Navi at 14%. There's the Blizzard taking out Navi, and the score becomes 2-2, and this is looking like Melia might be able to take this. It all depends on what Terrakion can do. Will it outspeed Melia? It looks like it doesn't actually outspeed. Nose Scarf on Terrakion, and that Moonblast takes it out. And Jolteon comes in at 40%, but we know it can't break Melia with a Thunderbolt. Yeah, it only does 26% as Melia retaliates with the Blizzard, taking down Dynamo, and that is the match. It is a 2-0 match victory, 2-0 set score as well for Morgana and the Lakeshore Ledians over Fire Warrior and the Draco Warriors. I think that if Terrakion was scarfed and went for the Stone Edge, that might have been a possible comeback moment. I'm not sure though, because Tapu Fini, protected by Veil, is very, very bulky. So he would have needed some luck with a crit probably. But this was definitely a lot closer than the first match. I think that Fire Warrior approached this match a little bit better and made some adequate changes. Morgana, again, using Sharpedo to his advantage. Very good sweeper and cleaner. If the sun wasn't up, it might have been able... I don't know if Liquidation would have taken it down, but I think it might have been able to take down Jolteon. But the sun definitely interfered with that a little bit. A very interesting match and a very offensive match from both sides. No stall here. So we will see Morgana and the Lakeshore Ledians advancing on to the losers semifinals to face either Edgar or Startoad. Fire Warrior is knocked out of bracket, but he did have a good performance in playoffs overall, being able to show that even though he was the lowest seed in playoffs, he was able to put some good matches up against these really high seed, high ranking players, and just doing overall really well since his first participation in Orbit. So thank you for joining Fire Warrior, and we're going to see more of Lakeshore Ledians as well, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, I will see you then. This is Noel, and stay tuned.